It's Sarah here from my channel Your Tree Shelf, and I look a little bit windswept because it's absolutely horrible weather outside. It is pouring with rain, it's blowing a gale, and I've just walked back from gymnastics with my little girl, so I look a little bit dishevelled, so I apologise. Today I'm going to talk about the books that I read in April, and I didn't read that many books in April. I only read 3 books, which I know isn't very much, especially for having a book channel, but one of the books was really chunky, and I also went back to work this month, which has taken up quite a lot of my time, as you can imagine. So the first book that I read was The Green Road by Enright, and I haven't got my copy to hand because I've lent it to my mum because I think she'll really like it. So The Green Road you may well have heard about because it's been shortlisted for the Bailey's Prize and for the Costa Prize, and it was longlisted for the Booker in 2015, so it may well be a book that you've already read or heard about. It's a book set in Ireland, and I really enjoy books set in Ireland. I've really loved Colm Tóibín's books, and this is my first Anne Enright book that I've read, and it was really enjoyable, so I'll definitely be digging out some more of her work. It's about a mum and her 4 children, Dan, Hannah, Constance and Emmett, and about their relationship with their mum, which is quite a complicated relationship. So it's told from multiple viewpoints. It flips between all of the 4 children and the mother herself, and the children are different ages, so when one of their sections finishes, it's moved forward in time for the next child's section, so they all tell different parts of the story, and it covers loads of different themes. So it covers alcohol abuse, it covers HIV in the 80s, and it covers it covers breast cancer, it covers working in developing countries in awful conditions. It's really interesting, so it's really spread out to the 4 corners of the world, and it also talks about the relationship between the mum and her children, and it's such an awkward relationship. It's everyone's trying really hard, but they just keep getting it wrong, and they never really achieve the relationship that they want, and it's all based around their family home, which the mum is planning on selling, so they all come back for a final reunion in the house. It's really, really interesting family drama, which I really enjoyed. So that was the first one. The second book I read was the Suzanne O'Sullivan book, It's All in Your Head, True Stories of Imaginary Illnesses, and I've done a separate video purely about that book, so I'm not going to discuss that book today because you can go and watch the whole video that I did about it if you're interested. And the final book that I read in April was this wonderful fiction here. So this book is The Narrow Road to the Deep North by Richard Flanagan, and this book had quite a personal meaning to me because it's about the prisoners of war, Japanese prisoners of war in the Second World War, and my granddad was one of those Japanese prisoners of war, so this had a personal meaning to me, and I was absolutely blown away by this book. It won the Booker in 2014, and it's one of the most incredible books I've ever read. So basically the story is about a man called Dorigo Evans, and he's Australian. It starts off in his childhood, and then it rapidly skips through to him becoming a surgeon and then going in the army, in the Australian army, where he gets taken prisoner in the middle of the war. And it jumps around in time a little bit, but it always makes it clear whereabouts in time you are. So part of it is set in the prison camp, quite a large section of it is set in the prison camp, and there's also his life before that and his life after that. So we know right from the beginning that he survives the camp because there's sections of the book set where he's sort of retirement age quite near the beginning, so we don't have to worry about his survival. But it's also a love story. He meets a girl called Amy quite near the beginning of the book as well, and it's about Amy's story and his story, both when they're together and when they get separated while he's away at war. The love story is amazing. It just captures the feelings so well of them wanting to be together, them being afraid of being together, being afraid to commit but wanting to give up everything for each other. It really captures that well. And the sections in the prison camp were just like, I don't even know how to describe. The writing is amazing. I don't think I've ever felt like I was in a place quite as much as I felt with this book. So the way that he describes the atmosphere, describes the characters, describes what it looks like, what it smells like, what it feels like, the desperation of the prisoners, you know, the absolute starvation, the ulcers, the malnutrition, the diarrhea, like all the things he describes, you really feel like you're seeing it for yourself. It's just amazing how he's done it, and it's very, very brutal, and it's not done in a gratuitous way, so nothing's done, I don't think, just purely to shock you. It's done to explain what happened, and it really, like, a few times I had to just stop and take a breather, because there were particular bits which were just horrific, and it really highlights the absolute worst of human behaviour, but the absolute strength of human behaviour as well. And there's one character Darky Gardner, who's one of my favourite characters in the book, and he always manages to look for something positive, whatever the disastrous situation he's in. He manages to be thankful for the fact that he's got shoes, or the fact that he heard a bird singing or something, and he is really heartwarming in the book. So this is not an easy read. The writing, like I say, is absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing. I think this book will always stay with me. I think I'll think about the characters for a long, long time. I'd really, really recommend it, especially if, like me, you have any link to that area, that period of time. I wish I could say more, but it's just so wonderful. And the other thing is, it talks the Japanese guards. There's 3 of the prison officers that you follow as well, and it follows their life after the war, and it talks about the trials for the Japanese who were tried for war crimes, and actually stuff which was quite shocking, which I didn't know about, how many people who were powerful in that time got let off for what they did just because of their influence, and because actually America wanted to learn things from them about the biological warfare that they'd carried out and things like that, so they were let off what they'd done. And so there's quite some shocking political revelations in there that I wasn't aware of as well. So I really, really recommend this book. It's amazing, and I am going to stop there because I can hear that my little boy has woken up from his nap, so I'm going to have to sign out now. I'm going to do a video about some audiobooks that I've been listening to, and I'm also probably going to do videos about career stuff, and also about veganism. I'd like to do a video about that too. So any comments, any questions, any suggestions, that would be great, and I will reply to you in the comments below. And I will sign out for now and speak again soon. Bye.